Have you ever considered the deep-seated roots of racism and its pervasive presence in our societies? It's an issue that's been with us for centuries, deeply ingrained in our systems and structures. Tackling it requires a comprehensive approach, touching upon all aspects of our lives, from the individual to societal and institutional levels. As we embark on this journey, remember there's no magic formula to erase racism. So let's delve into strategies and approaches to address and ultimately end racism. Knowledge is power, and it is instrumental in the fight against racism. At the heart of this battle, education serves as a beacon, illuminating the path towards understanding and acceptance. It's through education that we can delve into the historical roots of racism, unmask its many faces, and comprehend the profound impact it has on individuals and communities. Educational institutions bear a tremendous responsibility in this regard, acting as lighthouses guiding us through a sea of misinformation and stereotypes. They have the power to shape minds and attitudes, fostering a deeper understanding of diverse cultures. The media and community organizations also play a pivotal role in this endeavor. They serve as conduits, disseminating accurate information and promoting awareness about the realities of racism. They have the ability to challenge preconceived notions, breaking down walls of ignorance and prejudice. Education is our first line of defense, arming us with the understanding necessary to challenge stereotypes and foster cultural appreciation. In the fight against racism, representation plays a critical role. Picture a world where power and influence are spread among a diverse group of people, where leadership in politics, media, and corporations reflect the rich tapestry that is our global community. This is a world where everyone, regardless of their racial or ethnic background, can see themselves in positions of influence and success. When we champion diverse representation, we challenge the preconceived notions and stereotypes that fuel racism. We showcase the capability, talent, and potential that exist across all racial and ethnic backgrounds. This, in turn, fosters a sense of inclusivity, making room for everyone at the table. But it's not just about having diverse people in high places, it's about creating an environment where diverse voices, opinions, and experiences are valued and heard. It's about recognizing the strength in our differences and using this strength to build a society that is just, fair, and equitable. Diverse representation in the societal fabric challenges stereotypes and fosters a sense of inclusivity. Laws and policies are the backbone of a just society. To end racism, we need to have robust anti-discrimination laws and policies in place, and more importantly, enforce them. These laws serve as the first line of defense against racial discrimination, setting the standards for what is acceptable and what is not within our societies. However, laws alone are not enough. We need our governments and institutions to actively participate in dismantling the systemic barriers that perpetuate racial inequalities. This can be achieved through various means such as revising hiring practices to ensure diversity and equality, reforming the criminal justice system to eliminate racial bias, and addressing issues related to housing and education that disproportionately affect marginalized communities. Remember, these changes don't happen overnight. They require consistent effort, commitment, and vigilance. The fight against racism must be institutionalized through effective legislation and policy reform. Standing together against racism strengthens the fight. In this journey of eradicating racism, the power of allyship and solidarity cannot be underestimated. It's about embracing the spirit of togetherness, where individuals and communities unite to dismantle racial barriers. But what does this allyship look like? It's about being more than a passive observer. It's about stepping up, speaking out, and challenging discriminatory practices wherever we encounter them. Allies play a pivotal role in this dynamic. They help amplify the voices of those marginalized by racism, ensuring their stories are heard, their struggles acknowledged, and their rights championed. It's about actively listening, learning, and standing up against racism in all its forms. But remember, allyship isn't a title we simply claim. It's a commitment we make, a continuous journey of understanding, empathy, and action. It's about using our privilege to advocate for change and equality. Allyship and solidarity are key to amplifying marginalized voices and advocating for change. The fight against racism is a marathon, not a sprint. A long journey indeed, but every step taken towards understanding, acceptance, and equality is a stride in the right direction. Throughout this dialogue, we've delved into the multifaceted strategies needed to dismantle the intricate web of racism. We dove into the pivotal role of education and awareness. In this knowledge-driven era, we must leverage our platforms to spread accurate information, challenge stereotypes, and promote understanding of diverse cultures. It's through education that we can unravel the deep-seated biases that fuel racism. We talked about diverse representation, a beacon of hope that shatters stereotypes and fosters inclusivity. When we see individuals of different racial and ethnic backgrounds in influential positions, it sends a powerful message, a message of possibility, of change, and of a world beyond the confines of prejudice. We navigated the complex landscape of legislation and policy reform, the need for robust anti-discrimination laws, systemic changes in hiring practices, criminal justice reform, and addressing disparities in housing and education. These are all integral in dismantling systemic barriers and fostering a more equitable society. We discussed the power of allyship and solidarity, the strength of unity, of standing together against the tide of discrimination. Allies amplify marginalized voices, challenging discriminatory practices and advocating for change. We emphasize the importance of dialogue and conversations, the courage to have open and honest discussions about race, to break down stereotypes and build bridges of empathy. The power of sharing experiences and perspectives, fostering an environment of understanding and respect. We highlighted the necessity of cultural competency training in professional settings. An understanding of different cultures fosters inclusivity and respect, contributing to a more equitable work environment and society. We underscored the importance of economic empowerment. Policies promoting equal opportunities in employment, business ownership, and access to resources can help bridge the economic gap between racial and ethnic groups, tearing down systemic inequalities. And lastly, we acknowledge the significant role of grassroots movements. These initiatives, fueled by the power of the people, can bring about tangible change at the local level, influencing broader societal attitudes. The fight against racism is ongoing. It requires sustained effort from all of us. But remember, change doesn't happen overnight. It's a continuous endeavor, a collective responsibility. It's time to stand up, speak out, and take action. Together, we can end racism.